everybody, I thought I would help you with the third topic under no lead ink connectors. In my other videos, I did a few for correcting comma splices and fused sentences. You have to put a period between the sentences or a semicolon. Keep in mind, if you put a period, the next letter will be capitalized. If you put a semicolon, it will not be. Now the next one, punctuating themos at the beginning of a sentence. When you have themos, like therefore, however, as a result, also, meanwhile, on the other hand, you will put a comma after it. Now we're going to get a little bit trickier. These get more difficult, so I'm going to show you this. Punctuating themos in the middle of a sentence. So I'm going to click on begin. Again, this example might be the same as what you have. It might not be. I'm just doing this to help you with the concepts of punctuation. So, Cleopatra ordered a burger at the restaurant. Complete sentence. She was surprised, therefore, when she received a piece of chocolate cake instead. Now, this is a little bit tricky because you don't have a semicolon here. Okay, so I'm going to take it out. She was surprised, therefore. I'm going to click on this and see what it does. Okay. So it's making it capital. I do not want this to be capital, so I'm going to click again. Now this is one that could be frustrating for you. Now notice what I did. The first way I tried it did not work, so I had to look again. I had to really think about it. So I'm modeling the process that you will come up with when you're doing this. Cleopatra ordered a burger at the restaurant. Semicolon. She was surprised, therefore, when she received a piece of chocolate cake instead. Now, do you see what I have wrong? If you look at she, it should not be capitalized. So I'm going to click on that. So let me look closely again. Cleopatra ordered a burger at the restaurant, semicolon, because that's the end of the thought. She was surprised, therefore, when she received a piece of chocolate cake instead. So you put commas around therefore because of the location in the sentence. This is confusing because if this had been set up differently, you would have a semicolon and then a comma after therefore. So you really have to look. This is when it gets a little tricky. So I'm going to hit submit and see if I was right. It says, we're undoing some of your changes because they're outside of what we're testing. So what I'm doing is I am going to put a capital letter, and I'm going to hit submit. Now notice, I got it right. Princess Diana can often be cranky when she wakes up in the morning. Okay, that's a period at the end. Her favorite song, nevertheless, can always put her in a better mood. Now because of where this is positioned, the nevertheless, you put commas before and after it. You do not want nevertheless to be capitalized. So what I did was I put commas around it. Princess Diana can often be cranky when she wakes up in the morning. Her favorite song, nevertheless, can always put her in a better mood. I think that looks right, so I'm going to try it. But you know what? You can click, if this shows this to you, show hint. When a conjunctive adverb themo interrupts a single thought, place a comma on both sides. When a conjunctive adverb falls between two complete thoughts, place a semicolon on one side and a comma on the other. So notice the second one, he's not in the mood for one now. That's a complete thought. So there's a semicolon here. See, I'm trying to circle it. On the other hand, didn't want an ice cream cone is not a complete thought. So you put commas around it. So that is an important hint. I'm glad that I clicked on this. Now notice that this assignment is more time consuming. This is where I feel like kids might start getting frustrated and they might not get through the lesson. So use the hints, email me if you have any questions. We'll do one more. And notice that there's a mental process that you go through. You might look at it and do it a certain way, and then you might have to do it again, and that's okay. Leonardo DiCaprio was voted MVP of the basketball game, period. He remained humble, however, always being sure to recognize his teammates for their hard work. Now, I'm going to look at this. Always being sure to recognize his teammates for their hard work. Is that a complete thought? No. If it's not a complete thought, you have to put commas around it. If there had been a complete thought on the other side of however, you would need to put a semicolon before it and a comma after it. So you really need to look at these. You need to look at the tutorials and the lessons. And you can tell that this is where it's starting to take longer because it's even longer for me on this video to show you how to do it. Okay? Now, let's do one more so I can get through this. It says get 3 in a row to continue. Jennifer Lawrence puts way too much mustard on her hamburgers, period. Her aunt stopped letting her serve herself, in fact, after she used up an entire bottle at a barbecue. Again, we're going to look. After she used up an entire bottle at a barbecue. That is not a complete thought. So we need to have commas before and after the in fact. Now, I'm going to hit submit answer, but maybe I'll look at the hint. Show hint. Yeah, it shows the same thing. So this is not a complete thought. So we're going to hit submit and it's going to be right. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. You guys keep going. Like I said, this lesson might be a little bit more frustrating. I tried to model the fact that it would take longer. You might need to use hints. You might end up fixing it the way it's not really supposed to, and you go back. But remember, this is completion, so just take your time, get through it. It'll be okay. You can always email me if you have questions. Have a good day, guys. Bye.